Good afternoon, friends. I understand that it's going to be a difficult session straight after lunch, and maybe not as interesting as the session we had in the morning, because that was all about a lot of positivity, a lot of things on the annual breakthrough in shipbuilding in the country, etc. Having said that, I think equally interesting are the topics on ship repair and recycling, because when you look at it as a whole, I think unless all these three fall in line, we really can't talk about this sort of circular economy that we've been talking about, especially when it comes to shipping. So let me set the context, and then we move on with the session. Ship repair and ship recycling are two critical pillars of the maritime ecosystem that ensure sustainability, asset utilization, and circular economy in the shipping industry. India, with its long coastline and established shipbuilding infrastructure, is uniquely positioned in both these sectors. On the ship repair front, India is increasingly emerging as a reliable destination, supported by expanding capacities, strategic geographic location, which is always there, and the supposedly competitive costs that we offer. And this is more relevant in the context of the recent initiatives of the Government of India. We were hearing about the four-pillar approach in the morning. Ship repair and ship recycling have also found their mention and position in those documents which we've been reading about, the Maritime India Vision 2030 and the Maritime Amritkal Vision 2047, both of which have set targets for ship repair. So the MIV 2030 talks about ship repair breaking into the top 10 by 2030. We are somewhere in the range of 20 plus right now, and maybe into the top 5 by 2047. On the recycling side, India already holds a dominant position globally. The question has always been about, are we the number one, are we the number two sort of thing. And what has led ship recycling in India is, of course, Alang in Gujarat, which has handled a majority of the world's recycling tonnage. With the ratification of the Hong Kong Convention and its entry into force, Indian recycling yards are undergoing significant transformation, which I'm sure we'll hear more from our panelists. So together, ship repair and ship recycling represent areas where India can strengthen its global maritime standing, provided we continue to invest in infrastructure, skill development, ESG compliance, and of course, onboard better and newer technologies. So through this session, we'll try to explore the status where we currently are, the challenges that are in front of us, and the opportunities that lie ahead. So before I get into the formal discussion, I thought it would be good to quickly introduce the eminent panelists on stage, very briefly at least, so that I'm not sure how many of you personally know them. So I'll just do a quick intro before we get into the session. So representing the ship recycling industry, we have Sri Haresh Parmar with us. Mr. Parmar has been a friend for some time now, and a person whom I can actually pick up the phone and talk to whenever we had something to talk about in shipbreaking. Sri Parmar is the Honorary Secretary of the Ship Recycling Industries Association of India. He holds a BE degree in Electronics and Communication and is engaged in ship recycling for the last 3 decades. He has recycled more than 100 ships at Alang. As an expert and a member of the IMO and Inter-Ministerial Committee since the last 5 years, he has been an active participant on various aspects of recycling, including that of IMO, IMC, HKC, etc. He has worked very closely with the Gujarat Maritime Board to resolve various issues of ship recycling industry on behalf of the sector. We have another domain expert in Captain J.K. Thomas. He's a professional with 30 years of sea service, involved in various leading shipping companies. He's worked with the Shipping Corporation of India, Valem Ship Management Hong Kong, and Expedor Shipping Canada. Captain Thomas brings with him a wealth of experience in the field of shipping and ship management. He is currently the director of Apollo Ship Management and manages a fleet of 22 ships, including gas carriers, bulk carriers, and tankers. He is a fellow of the Nautical Institute, London, and a fellow of the Company of Master Mariners of India. More interestingly, Captain Thomas was the production consultant for the National Film Board of Canada for their award-winning documentary film titled and aptly titled Shipbreakers, which was released in 2004, which was filmed at Alang Shipbreaking Yard. And a final panelist, Dr. Subba. I think a lot of people know him. He's been in the industry for quite some time. Mr. Subba holds a mechanical engineering degree and has 36 years of experience in shipbuilding and ship repair. He's been with the Hindustan Shipyard right from his time as an executive trainee, and he currently holds the position of Chief General Manager in Hindustan Shipyard Limited. He's got more than 20 years of experience in ship repair and has a lot of domain experience when it comes to repair of both commercial and defense vessels, including offshore vessels and jackup rigs. So, without wasting much more time, let's quickly get into the session. What I plan to do is we'll have a couple of rounds of questions with all our panelists, and we'll then try to sum it up, as was mentioned here. We have begun the session a bit late, so maybe we really do not have time for taking questions, and that we can do so offline for whoever wants to, raise something. So I think let's start off with ship repair. Maybe the domain expert in ship repair with us here today, Mr. Subba. Can you just brief us as to where ship repair in India stands as of today? What are the opportunities as well as the gaps which you see in front of you as a leading ship repairing company in India?
Global ship repair and maintenance service market size in 2023 is 35.5 billion, and 2024 it has grown to 36.8, and the forecast market by 2032 is 52 billion. Asia Pacific region is the main contributor to the extent of 40% of this repair. Basically, because of the seaborne trade is maximum extent in this region, and a major shipyards in China, Korea, and Japan are in this, in even Middle East are in this region, and they are contributing to major portion of ship repairs in this area. Basically, because of they have a skilled manpower and technology, and ancillary industry is existing with them. Indian share in global ship repair services is less than 1%, even though we have 11,000 kilometers of coastline, and around 10% of the seaborne trade happens within 300 nautical miles of our coast. We are not able to capitalize even 1% of ship repair market. Additionally, IOR, Indian Ocean Region, is a very sensitive security area. This will capitalize for us for repairs of various international Navy ships also. That also we are not able to capitalize. This is one of the important factor. Nowadays, now MDL, CSL and some other L&T yard, they are having with US Navy collaboration for taking up their ship repairs. But still we are not able to take sufficient. Even though India has a strong workforce, but we are not able to capitalize it in basically ship repairs is a labor intensive work. Still we are not able to capitalize because of high financing costs and the lack of ancillary industries and that skilled manpower. Earlier panel one, Mr. Harikrishna was telling that skilled manpower we will get, that welders, structural fabricators and others, but experts like proportional or telecommunication repairers, these type of trades we are lacking. And apart from that, readily availability of space is a major issue in India, because of which we are not able to capitalize this ship repair industry, because in ship repair industry every owner expects quality and time than the cost. So once the ship goes to dry dock, we want the ship as early as back. So this space and expertise is also very important factor for getting this business. But MIV Mission India Maritime India Vision to 2030 set a bold target to get India elevated from present 20th rank to rank 10 is a bold target. But we have a way forward. First, we have to develop infrastructure. We need to, as like MROs, each airport got MROs for repairing the aeroplanes. Like that, all ports, we should have a ship repair unit as an ancillary, like ISFR by Cochin Shipyard. And even Andhra Pradesh government is also coming up with development of 3 to 4 ports. And they have put this condition of shipbuilding and ship repair as a condition. They have to set up with the port, the ship repair and ship building unit along with the port. This type of initiatives from the government. And secondary, strengthening of ancillary industries is very crucial. These ancillary industries, we should encourage to collaborate with established maritime nations like Korea, Japan, Singapore, and they will bring the technology and spare parts manufacturing in India, so that our timelines for completing the ship repairs will be shortened. And the third, and research and development, and we should be able to concentrate on research and development, and we should establish a center of excellence for ship repairs to drive innovative and eco-friendly technologies. Now green shipping is a buzzword. Now this technology is to be transferred, and India through its green hydrogen mission is well placed to lead the retrofitting of vessels for green propulsion. By aligning infrastructure expansion, policy reforms and innovations, India can position itself as a ship repair hub in the global scenario. This is my view about ship repairs in India.
Thank you, Mr. Subbarao. So we just heard from Mr. Subbarao as to where we stand on ship repair generally, and he also spelled out a few gaps which Indian yards are facing in terms of advancing ship repair. So let's now try and get a different perspective. May I now ask Captain Thomas, so you've been seeing it from the other side. So as repairers, all of us would, have a lot of reasons, and we would also always try to believe that we are doing our best and this is the best we can do. But from a client perspective, from a person who's leading or heading a ship management company, what I would like to know is, what are the key factors that you would consider when selecting a shipyard for repairs? And as a follow-up to that, what, in your opinion, do you feel needs to change if you were to prefer Indian shipyards for ship?
Thank you, Rajesh, for the introduction. He said that I'm a filmmaker. That is a complete misrepresentation of facts. I'm not a filmmaker, but I happened to assist in a filmmaking project on shipbreaking in Alang in 2003 when the National Film Board of Canada, I was incidentally working for a Canadian company then. I met in Toronto, and they asked my opinion on how to do a documentary on shipbreaking, and I did the groundwork for them. I visited Alang several times and organized everything. So if you Google Shipbreakers National Film Board of Canada documentary, you can see the video that's about an hour long, and my name will be there in the credits at the end. I can't make a decent video on my mobile. Forget about filmmaking. Coming to this question in hand, what does the ship manager look for ship repair facilities? It's essentially cost and quality. These are the prime things that that the ship manager will look at. Now, there are several ship management companies operating from India, operating from 20 ships like our company to 1,000 ships, company like Anglo-Eastern. Which means these companies are looking for ship repair facilities every week. A ship of theirs is docking somewhere or the other. And these days, the docking is done every 5 years, normally once in 5 years. Which means most of the heavy jobs are accumulated to complete in that ship repair window, so that the ship can sail well for the next 5 years without much problem. So naturally, this is a very important job, and the shipyard has to be selected properly. A lot of effort goes in. Quotations are sent out worldwide. So cost alone is not the factor, but as a ship management company, you have to justify the cost to the owner. So naturally, that will be the prime thing. The yards have to be competitive in a worldwide context. So India is really positioned well for that from a cost perspective. I don't think anyone can beat us when it comes to cost. If we really study what is required and how we can project as a really cost-effective place to do ship repair. Next, of course, comes quality. Now, there are certain yards which have built up a reputation for quality, like Simbawang Shipyard in Singapore, where all the Shipping Corporation of India tankers used to go. Our ships, those bigger tankers, couldn't be accommodated here in India. Many of our ships used to dry dock in Japan. They guarantee you the day that you arrive when you will sail. That kind of planning is to go into the ship repair jobs. So we need to ensure quality, maintain the timelines. Can we guarantee the timeline to the ship owner? Because the chartering department is already working on the next employment of the vessel, and they need to know when the ship is going to be ready and out. So the shipyards have to really have their timelines well planned out. The infrastructure is very, very important. The connectivity, land, air, sea connectivity. Can goods and services come in easily? These are, again, very, very important things. The whole ecosystem that is there behind a shipyard should be there, and maybe even more, with respect to ship repairing because of the timelines and the budgetary constraints. Now, what India needs to do to make a real impact, a lot of things that needs to go into. One of the things would be the easy mobility, that is bringing goods in, parts, machinery, things like that. I don't know if there's anyone from the customs department here. The customs seems to be one who receives a lot of flack because everything gets blocked over there. Nothing moves. This is a general opinion. I had a situation where one of our ships held up in Kandla. A severe lightning storm struck the vessel, and the complete bridge equipments were burned out. So we had to call in technicians for fixing every equipment, and we had a technician coming in from Dubai with a few parts for the gyro compass. He was stopped at the airport and not allowed to bring in those few electronic parts that he had, saying that it was not previously declared, the value of it cannot be ascertained or whatever. Now just imagine a ship undergoing repairs and suddenly you realize that you need to do something. You need a part urgently. It should be just easy to get it in a day or two, as it happens in Dubai, Singapore. You just pick up the phone, order it from anywhere in Europe, Japan, Korea, China. It's flown, the next day it comes in, and we have had even parts delivered just on the second day from abroad. Can you imagine such a thing happening here in India? I don't think so. Of course, the other infrastructure like classification society, availability, qualified technicians, even the immigration department, wherein visa for the crew, because shipping is international business, we have international crews, technicians coming from various parts of the world. So these, important things, finer points, the whole industry has to sit together and discuss with the officials and how to chalk out a plan wherein these things move easily. At this stage, ships or ship owners are hesitant to bring ships to India for ship repair. I've had several inquiries asking, can you get the ship, can we do this job here? Inquiries have revealed that, all that we said just now is not happening. We cannot give guarantees. So cost-wise, we can really beat anyone, but as far as infrastructure, the ecosystem, development of those, free movement of goods, all those have to be worked on. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Captain Thomas. I think that was a very good perspective from the ship owner's side. So as he pointed out, the three corners of the triangle, quality, cost, and time. But just to give you an update, there's been a lot of effort that has gone into this sector. Things have improved. So talking about these 3 points, cost, what we have felt, and I'm talking on behalf of Cochin Shipyard here, one of the largest ship repairers in the country. Cost is something that I think an Indian yard can compete globally. If we really want to go and take an order, we can. And it's not just going and taking an order by bidding below the belt, but we can do it, and we can do it fairly well. Coming to, you mentioned infrastructure. Infrastructure is something that has developed over the recent years. There's significant infrastructure that has come in. It's a fact that we had lack of infrastructure. We had a lack of focus on ship repair because not many of the big yards were really keen on ship repair, but that has since changed. We can see rejuvenated ship repair interest in many of the yards and the bigger yards as well. A lot of capacity has been added, especially when Mr. Subba mentioned the International Ship Repair Facility, which CSL has recently commissioned. So which means capacity, cost is sort of getting addressed. Yes, the key area which we really need to now turnaround is actually the turnaround. So the turnaround time is something that India has to address. And I think one of the ways that this can happen is actually collaborating, because otherwise we keep talking, we think, as I mentioned initially, we think we are doing our best. This is the best that India can do. And so I think that is one thing that we will have to address. And just to mention the point on bureaucracy or the procedural part, I think that has also eased out a lot. And at least a yard like us, we do not really face major issues or any issues on that front nowadays. Could be still some sticklers at certain points, but otherwise, in general, I think we've come a long way from there. And I'm talking of maybe because CSL is doing a lot of repairs and we have volumes and we have a mechanism in place. But I think if a yard really wants to do it, I think these can be handled. So I think from that point, I just wanted to set the the context right from the ship repairer's perspective as well. Let me now quickly move on to Mr. Parmar. Mr. Parmar, as I mentioned, has been a long-time player in the ship recycling industry in India, and we are probably the top ship recycling company in the, in country in the world. So just, I just want to check with you, Mr. Parmar, on with Hong Kong Convention kicking in, how ready are we? And especially in terms of environmental compliances, and also regarding there's a lot of talk about green steel and CO2 emissions. So can you just educate us on that part?
Thank you very much. First of all, I would say to Happy Engineers Day to all my engineers colleagues in this hall. Without you, it is not possible to build this nation. Ship recycling is something different business if you're talking about that. Because as you said that Hong Kong Convention made a lots of change in our industry. India has voluntarily adopted the Hong Kong Convention in 2015. We were working from the 2009. And India adopted Hong Kong Convention. First yard comes into the force with the Hong Kong certificate by class NK in 2015. And at present, we have 131 ship recycling yard, and out of that, 115 yard are compliant with the certificate. That means 95% of the yard have been already complied. Rest of the yard are also in the process of that. There is a major three country playing in this ship recycling industry, as you can say, India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. India is 115 yard at present. Pakistan have no, they are working on that. Bangladesh have only 5 yards. So India is now the major player if you're talking about the Hong Kong Convention. Once we have this entry into force last June, we will be the #1 after this, because all owners have to send their ship to India only. So if we are talking the Hong Kong Convention, now we are beyond the Hong Kong Convention. Every yard has an impermeable floor, lots of heavy lifting equipments and everything. We invest a lots of money in that. Now, our Indian government, Gujarat Maritime Board and Shipping Ministry are working very hard towards the EU compliance also. Because most of the EU owners cannot send their vessel to end of their life to the Indian recycling yard because of the Basel Convention. You know that about that. Because they are taking a ship as a whole ship as a waste. So our shipping ministry and Gujarat Maritime Board and our association are working hard to make a change in the law in the European nation, as well as uplifting our yard and our, especially as far as the TSDF site is concerned, where we are dispose our all waste. Our hospital, we have a level 3 hospital as per the EU norms. Everything in our yard are as per the EU norms as well as the Hong Kong Convention. You know that Hong Kong Convention is only for the safety, environment, and laborers oriented. So that is a very good for that. All our laborers are now have a very much trained over there. We are not entertaining any labor without the training, without insurance. They are all family, with their family have the insured as per our convention. One thing I would like to say as far as the Hong Kong Convention is concerned, our Indian Shipping Ministry is working very hard. From our PM sir also is taking a keen interest in the ship recycling, because you know that our Prime Minister is very much interested in the green steel. Now next concept is the green steel. We achieve the one step. Next step is our EU, and third one is the green steel. You know that ship recycling is the only one process that we can get the green steel. We are producing somewhere around 3 million metric ton of steel per annum. And out of that, half, means 1.5 million are directly used for the rerollable scrap in the rolling mill. So if we are talking carbon emission, if you want to produce a 1.5 million metric ton steel, rerollable steel, it will, 1 metric ton steel will emit somewhere around 1.5 metric ton of CO2 in the air. So we are saving somewhere around 2.25 million metric ton of CO2 emission per year. So nowadays, if you are going to the carbon credit $10 to $25 or $50, it means India can earn the somewhere around 10 millions to 90 millions US dollar by the carbon credit from the ship recycling only. This is the major prospect of the ship recycling industries now. So now we are beyond the Hong Kong Convention. We are beyond so many things. If you see the yard, sir has said that they have made one documentary, but I request them to come now into the Alang. We made lots of change in that. I remember in 2009 when I was in IMO committee, and we had a final drafting about this Hong Kong Convention in Pattaya, Thailand. At that time, many European owners have been there, and they said that if India is there for the ship recycling, we will be not into the hole. We will leave the hole because India is not capable for the ship recycling as per the Hong Kong Convention or as per the international norms. But I'm happy to say that now all these European owners are coming to India to send their vessel, and somewhere around 15 to 20 vessels at present, they are recycling in the Alang with their personal inspection over there. So journey of the ship recycling is very much tough, because every day we need a change. We have to cope up with so many regulations. So we can say there is one challenge is also, okay, we are now become over-regulated because of this Hong Kong Convention and EU and everything this. So once the industry become over-regulated, it might be harmful, but then also our government is taking very much interest in that, and they are taking care of that, we should not be lost our business, and they are expanding the yards, they are investing the yard, they are giving the incentive to the ship recyclers also, our central government. So Hong Kong Convention is made totally change in recycling. And in future, I hope we took somewhere around 7 to 8 years to achieve this goal. So Pakistan and Bangladesh will take somewhere around 10 to 15 years. So next 10 years is for India only. So as far as the green steel is concerned, as far as the Hong Kong Convention is concerned, you know that if you want to make a 10,000 metric ton of steel, you need a 35,000 metric ton of iron ore, 8,000 metric ton of coal, 45 million liters of water, and tremendous electricity. We don't need anything of that. We just need oxygen, which we can make from the air, and LPG. That association have their own plant for the LPG plant. So only two things, and we can make the green steel. So this is the irony of this industry. And India is, as far as whatever our government is doing, I can say that our shipping ministry, Gujarat Maritime Board, and our association will make the India #1 for the next 10 years. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. That was a very positive take on the ship recycling sector. And for us in ship repair and ship recycling, I think the major challenges, one of the major challenges we face is in waste management, scrap management, sludge management. So naturally, for being a ship repairer, a couple of years back when we went to Allah, I was expecting to see something of that sort there, and we were pleasantly surprised to see spick and span, well laid out breaking yards, nothing like open sludge or scrap, mountains as we used to call it. And so I think I second the opinion of Mr. Parmar. He was inviting Captain Thomas, maybe you should really, maybe go and physically see the difference now.
Actually, we are facing this only because all these NGO platforms and NGO all are seeing the 15 years back pictures, how we are working. They are not coming over there. We are inviting them. Come over here and see this. What we have changed. What we have taken care of the safety, environment and our labor. You can see the housing colony. You can see our hospital. You can see the ambulance on wheel. Each and every yard our ambulance response is 3 minutes. There are 15 ambulances in our yard, 10-kilometer stretch area. You can see the housing colony for the labor. You can see the hospital, TSDF site. For the EU, we have to in our shipping ministry, Gujarat Maritime Board, and we three together, we have somewhere around 17 waste from the ship is like that we cannot handle in the Alang. So our government has collaborated with the 15 TSDF site all over the India, and immediately they made the contract with them. You have to take this waste and you can recycle it. So till today we have recycled somewhere around 85,000 metric ton of waste over there. So this is the major change. So now come along and see what we have changed in last 5 years. This is the major
Yes,
change.
Captain Thomas.
Yeah, I'm so happy to hear Haresh talking about the tremendous improvements that has happened in Alang. When I was there in 2003, what could be said of the place was ships come to die here, and the workers also come to die here. In fact, this statement is used in the video, in the documentary. While we were filming there, an explosion took place on one of the vessels, killing 4 workers and seriously injuring another 6 or 7. Apparently, this kind of incidents were going on quite often because the ships are declared gas-free and safe. So the shipyard, the yard owners have no idea what is where, and then they start cutting open, and then you see the problem. I had made a small excerpt of some clippings, but if time permits, Rajesh might show it to see you how things were then. And as Haresh has said, it has to be a sea change that should happen there.
And I'm sure it's time for the next documentary.
Okay. And secondly, as far as ship repair facilities, one of the things is location. Now, where are you located? As far as the location is concerned, Cochin is really blessed to be located right on the international sea route. Any of the ships coming here for cargo operations, without much deviation, can go to a shipyard. That is where we need to have shipyards, and we have those things. We have Garden Reach in Vizag side, then Vizag shipyard, then Cochin shipyard. On the west coast, there are some up in Pipavav, there is a yard there too, but these all need to be developed. The very large crude carriers, which are 300,000 tons and above, many of them do call at Sikka, Jamnagar, those areas. If they need to go in for dry dock, there is no facility currently. There's nothing around the Indian coast. So this is a great opportunity waiting for us. Similarly, the trade, Indian trade is going to go up by leaps and bounds. The amount of ships that's going to call in our ports. So if really facilities are available, then ship owners, ship managers will certainly consider repairing ships here in India.
Okay. Yeah. Just before we move on, Mr. Parmar, you mentioned about the government initiatives and the sort of interest that the government is taking. This recent proposal for a 40% credit note on the value of ships. So are you actually trying to market that for yourself also?
Yeah, that is a 40% credit. Actually, we have 2 challenges that. One is double GST for the Indian ship recycling. If your Indian flagship is coming to the Alang, we have to pay double GST. Once the Indian ship owners are selling their ship to us, at that time we have to pay 18%. And once they are coming to the Alang, at that time I have to file the bill of entry, and at that time again I have to pay the GST. So this is the major problem with the Indian ship flag as far as the recycling is concerned, and we are in contact with our custom department, and shipping ministry is taking keen interest in that, and we will get the single GST. After that, definitely it will work. That is one major challenge for us, for the Indian ship flag owner. And other one is we are challenging is over the BIS certification because of the quality control order. Because the ship, you know that all are from the shipping family only, that it is very difficult to get the history of our ship. the plate used in the ship, our quality control order is said that we have a history of that ship, what is the chemical composition and what is the mechanical composition of that plate. But 25, 30 years old ship, it is very difficult to get the history of that ship. So we have to break our 50% of the ship in the melting scrap, and the rest 15% only which comes into the BIS standards, they can only directly re-roll. Otherwise, we always be the number one. That is with these two challenges
but
also.
But you feel this credit note will be an attraction?
Once the GST problem will resolve, that credit note will work. Definitely it will work. Definitely. It's a very good initiative by the government.
We have a vested interest because then it would indirectly benefit the other
Yes, definitely. Yeah. That is a very good initiative by taking each and every problem. Whatever the problem ship recycling have, our government is taking a keen interest to resolve it, and always they wants to make India number one in the world.
Thank you. I think we are just running short of time. And as was mentioned, we really do not have time to take questions, so we'll take them offline. So thanks for the patient hearing. Let me quickly conclude as was brought out in the morning session, and as you probably heard from all our panelists, ship breaking and ship recycling have always been looked at as a supporting industry or a supporting sector to the main shipbuilding industry. However, it is evident that these two sectors are also part of the main pillars of the maritime ecosystem. And like the positivity that we were talking about, overall positivity, the government initiatives, which is again and again coming out in all our discussions, the policy, changes and the new acts that have come in, the consistency that we are offering as a country. I think all these are actually now going to propel these two sectors also. And we are already talking clusters. We are talking. We talked about the cost advantages that a country like us has, the locational advantages that we have. In the morning, we also heard about the median age being 20, 30, and I think even in 2050, 55, our median age is just touching 40. So I think India's the next 2-3 decades is going to be India's. And I think especially for the maritime industry, this is huge because, again, these are repetition. Maybe, places like Korea, Japan are actually already struggling to get the young generation interested into coming into this particular industry or sector. So that is where India holds a key. India holds a very good advantage, and we can see that the momentum beginning to build, the interest coming in from all quarters, and the country, again, at the cost of repetition, beginning to work as a whole. So I think very, very exciting times ahead, and the private industry beginning to, show confidence in the Indian maritime sector. We have seen Indian shipbuilders, ready to build in India. We've had experiences like the JSW projects that we've handled. So I think to conclude, let us end it again on this very positive note that the next decades, a few decades, are going to be India's as far as the maritime sector is concerned, and especially with regard to this particular session that we had, especially with regard to ship repairs and ship recycling as well. Thank you very much.